Welcome, dear viewers. Today, we delve into a topic of great significance: God's design for marriage. This topic is not just relevant for those who are married or considering marriage, but to anyone who seeks to understand the profound truths about human relationships that our Creator has woven into the fabric of His creation. Our journey today will take us through the biblical foundations of marriage, exploring the roles and responsibilities within a marriage, and the principles that can make a marriage strong and resilient. We'll also look at some of the challenges that marriages often face and seek wisdom from the Bible for overcoming these hurdles. This exploration is not just about understanding, but about transformation, transforming our hearts, our relationships, and our lives to align more closely with God's beautiful design. As we begin, let's invite God's presence with a short prayer. Let's begin by exploring the biblical foundation of marriage. We start in the Garden of Eden, where the first marriage took place. In Genesis 2:18-24, we find the creation of Eve. God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." So God created Eve from Adam's rib, establishing the first marital relationship. This story reveals God's design for marriage, one of companionship and unity, where two become one. God did not create Eve from Adam's head to rule over him, nor from his feet to be trampled upon, but from his side to be equal, under his arm to be protected, and near his heart to be loved. This aspect of unity is essential. A married couple is no longer two individuals but one flesh, sharing in each other's joys, sorrows, dreams, and fears. Next, we turn to the purpose of marriage, as illustrated in Ephesians 5:22-33. Here, Apostle Paul draws a beautiful analogy between the relationship of Christ and the church, and that of a husband and wife. A marriage is meant to reflect God's relationship with His people, a relationship marked by love, sacrifice, and respect. Let's delve deeper into this. Paul says, "Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave Himself up for her." This is a profound statement. The love Christ has for the church is selfless, sacrificial, and unconditional. This is the kind of love husbands are called to show their wives. On the other hand, wives are called to submit to their husbands as to the Lord. Now, this doesn't imply inferiority or a lack of equality. Rather, it's about recognizing the husband's leadership role within the family, just as Christ is the head of the church. This submission is to be voluntary, stemming from love and respect, not from fear or compulsion. What's interesting here is the reciprocal nature of these roles. The husband's love facilitates the wife's submission, and the wife's respect encourages the husband's love. It's a divine dance, if you will, where each one's actions inspire and uplift the other. So the biblical foundation of marriage is not about dominance and subjugation, but about love, respect, and mutual submission. It's a partnership where each person complements the other, and together they reflect God's love for His people. The Bible also reinforces the sanctity of marriage. In Hebrews 13:4, it says, "Let marriage be held in honor among all, and let the marriage bed be undefiled." This underscores the importance of faithfulness and commitment, reminding us that marriage is a covenant, not just between two people, but also with God. In essence, marriage is a divine institution, designed by God for companionship, unity, and mutual edification. It's a relationship where love and respect are paramount, where each person has a distinct role, yet equal worth. It's a living testament of Christ's love for the church, reminding us of God's unfailing love and faithfulness. So we see that marriage, right from its inception, is a divine institution with profound implications. Now that we understand the foundation, let's unpack the roles and responsibilities within a marriage. In the grand design of marriage, God has defined specific roles for husbands and wives. These roles are not meant to be burdensome or restrictive, but rather, they serve as a blueprint for harmony and mutual respect. It is essential to remember that these roles are rooted in love and are designed to reflect Christ's relationship with the church. Let's start with the husband's role. In Ephesians chapter 5, verses 25-28, Paul instructs husbands to love their wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave Himself up for her. This love isn't just about feelings or emotions. It's a selfless, sacrificial love that puts the needs of the wife before one's own. This love goes hand in hand with leadership. But remember, this isn't about dominating or dictating. Biblical leadership is servant leadership, mirroring how Jesus led by serving others. As a husband, leading means providing, protecting, and guiding the family in God's ways. It means stepping up to make tough decisions when necessary, but doing so with wisdom, love, and humility. Sacrifice is another crucial aspect of a husband's role. Just as Christ sacrificed himself for the church, husbands are called to make sacrifices for their wives. This could mean sacrificing time, personal desires, or comfort for the well-being of the wife. It's about being willing to give up anything, even oneself, for the sake of love. Now let's turn to the wife's role. Ephesians chapter 5, verses 22 to 24, encourages wives to submit to their husbands as to the Lord. Submission, in this context, isn't about being inferior or less important. It's about mutual respect and support. It's about recognizing the husband's God-given role as the leader and supporting him in that role. Respect is a pivotal part of a wife's role. This includes respecting the husband's decisions, his abilities, and his role as the leader. It's about communicating in a way that upholds his dignity and value. It's not about blind obedience, but a willing cooperation that comes from a place of love and trust. Support is another essential aspect of a wife's role. It involves standing by the husband, encouraging him, and being his partner in all aspects of life. It's about working together as a team, complementing each other's strengths, and helping each other in weaknesses. Partnership is at the heart of a wife's role. The wife isn't just a follower, but an active partner in the marriage. She brings her unique perspectives, wisdom, and strengths into the relationship. Just as Eve was created to be a suitable helper for Adam, wives are called to be partners with their husbands, working together towards common goals and God's purposes. So, you see, in a marriage, the husband and wife have distinct roles. The husband leads with love and sacrifices, as Christ does for the church. The wife respects, supports, and partners with the husband, just as the church cooperates with and supports Christ's mission. But remember, these roles do not imply superiority or inferiority. They are not about who is in control or who has the final say. They are about serving each other in love, just as Christ served us. They are about working together as a team, each contributing their unique strengths and gifts to the relationship. In fulfilling these roles, husbands and wives reflect God's love and unity. They mirror the relationship between Christ and the church, showing the world a glimpse of God's incredible love story. So, whether you're a husband or a wife, I encourage you to embrace your God-given role in your marriage. Seek to serve your spouse with love and respect, just as Christ served us. And remember, you're not in this alone. God is with you, guiding you, strengthening you, and helping you to live out these roles in a way that glorifies Him. Thus, each partner has a distinct role to play, underpinned by love and respect. With the roles clearly defined, let's explore the principles that fortify a marriage. Our first principle comes from the book of James, chapter 1, verse 19. The scripture reads, "Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry." This verse imparts a valuable lesson in the art of communication, which is a cornerstone of any successful marriage. In the hustle and bustle of life, we often forget to truly listen to our partners. To listen is more than merely hearing the words spoken. It involves understanding, empathy, and a willingness to see things from your partner's perspective. It's about giving them your undivided attention, showing them that their thoughts and feelings matter to you. Being slow to speak is not about withholding your thoughts or suppressing your emotions. On the contrary, it's about taking a moment to consider your words carefully before you speak. It's about ensuring that what you say contributes positively to the conversation, that it expresses love, respect, and understanding, rather than causing harm or misunderstanding. And of course, being slow to anger is about managing your emotions in a way that promotes peace and harmony. It's about choosing love over anger, understanding over conflict. Every marriage has its disagreements, but it's how we handle those disagreements that can either strengthen or weaken our bonds. Moving forward, our second principle is from Colossians chapter 3, verse 13, which reads, "Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you." Forgiveness is often easier said than done, but it's an essential principle in a strong marriage. Holding on to grievances, resentment, or anger can create a rift in your relationship. It's like a poison seeping into your marriage. slowly eroding the love and trust you've built together. Instead, we are called to forgive, to let go of the hurt and pain, just as the Lord forgives us. This doesn't mean that we ignore wrongs or allow harmful behavior to continue. It means we address the issues, work through them, and then let them go. We choose to move forward together, hand in hand, leaving the past in the past. Lastly, we turn to the book of Corinthians, chapter 13, verses 4-7, which beautifully outlines the characteristics of love. It reads, "Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres." This passage is not just a description of love, it's a blueprint for how we should strive to love our partners in marriage. Patience and kindness lay the foundation, while humility, honesty, and respect build upon it. Love should protect and trust, hope and persevere, even in the face of challenges and difficulties. Remember, love is not merely a feeling, it's an action, a choice that we make every day. It's about putting your partner's needs before your own, about striving to make them feel loved, cherished, and valued. It's about choosing to love them, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. By adhering to these principles, open and honest communication, grace and forgiveness, and practicing love, patience, kindness, and respect, we can build a strong and enduring marriage. A marriage that reflects God's love for us, a marriage that can weather any storm, a marriage that is a testament to the power and beauty of God's design. By adhering to these principles, we can foster a strong and enduring marriage. Yet even the strongest marriages face challenges. Let's discuss some common ones and their biblical solutions. In the course of marriage, couples may encounter various hurdles. These can range from conflicts and disagreements to financial stress and even communication breakdowns. Conflict is a part of life, and it's no different in marriage. Disagreements can arise from differences in opinions, preferences, or even misunderstandings. However, conflicts can also provide opportunities for growth and understanding if handled correctly. Financial stress is another common challenge. Money matters can strain a relationship when not managed properly. It can lead to feelings of insecurity, fear, and even resentment. But remember, it's not the amount of money you have that matters. It's how you manage it as a team. Communication breakdown is yet another hurdle. It's the root of many problems in a relationship. When communication lines are down, misunderstanding, resentment, and frustration can set in. It's essential to keep the lines of communication open and honest. Now let's turn to the Bible for solutions. There's a powerful verse in Philippians 4:6-7, which says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." This verse offers a profound solution: prayer. When faced with challenges, we are encouraged not to be anxious, but to present our requests to God. Prayer is not just about asking for help. It's about acknowledging our dependence on God, expressing our trust in Him, and thanking Him for His faithfulness. In the face of conflict, prayer can soften hearts and open the door for reconciliation. It shifts our focus from the problem to the problem solver. When financial stress looms, prayer reminds us that our security lies not in our wealth, but in God, who is our provider. In moments of communication breakdowns, prayer can pave the way for understanding and empathy. Another key point from this verse is the peace of God. This peace is not the absence of problems, but the presence of God in the midst of our problems. It transcends human understanding and has the power to guard our hearts and minds. This peace provides the stability needed to navigate the stormy seas of marital challenges. Lastly, trusting God's plan. God's plan for our lives, including our marriages, is always for our good, even when we can't see it. Trusting in His plan means letting go of our understanding and leaning on His wisdom. It means believing that He is working everything out for our good, even when the circumstances say otherwise. In conclusion, while challenges are inevitable in marriage, they are not insurmountable. With prayer, reliance on God, and trust in His plan, we can overcome these challenges. Remember, a cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. When God is woven into the fabric of our marriages, we become stronger and more resilient. With God at the helm, no challenge is insurmountable. As we draw to a close, let's recap the key points we've discussed. Our journey began with the biblical foundation of marriage, where we saw marriage's inception in the book of Genesis. Here, God designed marriage for companionship and unity, as illustrated by Adam and Eve's relationship. We then delved into the purpose of marriage, as outlined in Ephesians. Marriage is intended to mirror God's relationship with His people, characterized by love and respect, as Christ loves the church. The roles and responsibilities within a marriage were our next focus. Husbands are called to lead, love, and sacrifice, akin to Christ's love for the church. Wives, on the other hand, are encouraged to respect, support, and partner with their husbands, submitting to them as to the Lord. Next, we explored the principles for a strong marriage, starting with communication. The importance of being quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger can't be overstated. We also discussed the significance of forgiveness, following the example of the Lord who forgave us. Lastly, we examined the characteristics of love, as described in 1 Corinthians, emphasizing the practice of love, patience, kindness, and respect. We also addressed common challenges faced in marriages, such as conflicts, financial stress, and communication breakdown. But remember, the Bible provides solutions to these issues too. Through prayer and reliance on God, as stated in Philippians, we can navigate these challenges, trusting in God's plan. Today's study has highlighted the importance of applying biblical principles in our marriages. These principles, when put into practice, can transform our relationships, creating a marriage that reflects God's design and purpose. May God bless your marriages. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. Until next time, stay blessed.